This brings the Rules Committee to order. Rules Committee members are Gina Gregory, Corey Penn. Also in attendance is Councilman Carroll, Councilman Daves. We're here today to discuss the MHDC ordinance and the Architectural Review Board ordinance that was put forward by the administration. Meetings have been held up here in the council chamber amongst interested parties for a couple of weeks now. Councilman Carroll has led those meetings. They've been productive. I was able to sit in on 2 of them. And I think what we have here satisfies many. I don't know if it satisfies all, but that's the point of today, is to hammer out any last details before it goes out to be introduced to the public at large. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Is what is before us the current compromise version?
Should be.
It is my understanding that is the current compromise version. The one that the mayor put on the agenda was tabled last week, and this one was added to the agenda, and it's the most recent copy, is my understanding. And at least my attendance of the couple of meetings that I went to, there were a few things that were sort of having to be worked out.
Everything's done.
Well, I'm saying what was discussed in those meetings. I think it's all sort of worked out here. But it was essentially the makeup of the MHDC, the
Total members of the board.
The recitals, and how they're appointed. And I believe that has generally been worked out. And I'll just take a minute here to read that, because I think that was kind of the main focus of at least the meeting that I attended. A lot of people gave a lot of input to this. As far as the MHDC is concerned, what the mayor submitted was a board of 7, and now it's been expanded to 13. And the specific section says, commission membership. The commission shall consist of 13 members. Commissioners shall be bona fide residents of the city of Mobile and shall have demonstrated training or experience in the fields of history, architecture, architectural history, urban planning, archaeology, or law, or who shall be residents of a local historic district. No elected official shall serve on the commission. A minimum of 7 members of the commission shall reside or own property in a local historic district. The remaining 6 members of the commission may reside or own property in a local historic district, but such shall not be required for their nomination by the mayor. Members of the commission shall be nominated by the mayor, with the mayor to nominate 1 commissioner from each of the local historic districts existing from time to time, with representation of the local historic districts.
Wait a minute, that didn't read right, Flo. The recommendation comes from the local districts to the mayor from the recommendation. Flo, that didn't read right.
That's stated in another section.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Shouldn't it be repetitive? I think that should be repetitive, Ben.
I'm sorry, page 6, item C.
Yeah. That should be a repetitive statement.
Let me finish reading it if you don't mind.
Okay.
Members of the commission shall be nominated by the mayor, with the mayor to nominate 1 commissioner from each of the local historic districts existing from time to time, with representation of the local historic districts not to exceed 7 in total, and shall be appointed by the city council. Nomination and appointment of members of the commission shall be made so as to ensure that the commission will be composed of persons with as much of the training and experience identified in this section as is possible. In making such appointments, the mayor shall solicit non-binding recommendations of potential commissioners from the following, and that is the list that.
Yeah, but the number is also wrong. It says 7, should be 13. What do we
I think
do?
you're looking at the 6 and 7 there, right? Because I was confused about this too, to make sure that it's not that the mayor has to appoint someone from each district, but it said from time to time.
No, it's from, you get we get one from each of the 7 districts and 6 at large.
Correct.
There's something wrong with the wording here, guys.
What are the 7 existing districts? Are they set out in here somewhere?
Yeah, they're all listed. Oakley, Linecoff, Church Street East, Detente, Ashland Place, Old Dolphin Way, Lower Dolphin, thank you, Lower Dolphin Street.
Yeah, but shouldn't they be listed?
They're in the groups that are listed as, it's 1,000 groups listed in here. They're all listed.
Yeah,
I know,
But
but
there's-
it doesn't, it says a minimum of 7 members shall reside in a local historic district.
Right, that's that way specifically because of expansion of additional historic districts. So if there's another one that comes on, say
Right.
Spring Hill or Japonica or, whatever area comes on board, you still do not exceed 7 members total in that group.
What happens is that it's 13 slots. So you'll always have 7 people that live in a locally designated historic district. Out of the other 6, you can have, if one doesn't become one of the 7, he could also be one of the at-large positions, but one of the at-large positions can also be from outside of the historic districts.
All right, Mr. Daves.
So there are more historic districts than what we have members for as far as the
No.
specific.
No,
Not
there's
right now.
right now, there's only 7. We're talking about if there were ever any more than 7.
So only 7 historic districts right now.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
I just think that there are people all over the city who have an interest in the training to be involved in a commission like this. And I don't like the idea of
Well, that's why there are 13 seats, because those 6 other seats can come from anywhere within the city.
The 6, the
Yes,
remaining 6.
The remaining 6 can come from anywhere, but you do have representation from the 7 districts, or if there's an 8th, then you'll have representation from there. But you do have that representation, but you also have 6 other seats that come from anywhere in the city that are at large. That's the compromise there. Because right now, the true representation on MHDC is actually coming from the people that live in the districts, and the people that are part of these other member groups rarely show. That's part of the problem we have now. So the real representation comes from the people that live within the districts.
Councilman Daves, I had that exact same concern throughout this process. But I think this illustrates a pretty healthy compromise on both parties' part to arrive at 7 from historic districts and 6 at
from
large.
wherever.
And the mayor taking a non-binding recommendation of who they should put on the seat comes to the mayor. The mayor appoints, and the council ultimately has the ultimate approval authority in this. But I had the same exact concern.
So a vacancy occurs.
Mhm.
And who provides suggested names to the mayor?
The ordinance that states that the member MHDC can provide recommendations to the mayor, and the mayor can also add his recommendations too. But the 7 seats that come from recommendation, those 7 that live in the district will be somebody from one of the 7 districts. So the appointing process is, I guess, somewhat twofold with the mayor and also the appointing authorities being able to make recommendation to the administration for who's appointed. Meaning that the MHDC itself,
All 13 members of the MHDC
all 13 members.
would make a recommendation or recommendations to the mayor.
The mayor can get his recommendations from whoever he would like. Whoever wants to submit a recommendation to the mayor for his appointment can do that. But the ordinance does give,
7 to them.
well, that they will recommend in a non-binding way and say, Linecoff would like this person
Yeah.
on the board, and the mayor can or cannot choose to recommend.
but we
He
still
most
have to
likely
have-
will accept the recommendation.
We still
anyway.
have to have 7 from one of the.
Yes, ma'am.
But,
The
but
mayor can say, oh, I don't want to appoint that person, I want to appoint somebody else. It's
Right,
say
and
up
they
front.
normally,
exactly
they
right.
normally submit more than one recommendation.
but how
anyway.
about the at-large members?
Anybody?
Anybody, as long as you meet the requirements, the other requirements, then those 6 could be anybody.
And the AIA slide, all of those things is still written into the ordinance.
And there's nothing prohibitive of these groups making a recommendation for any of those seats. You know, anybody can recommend whoever they want.
So what is it, Councilman Carroll was wanting to see in this section C that's not here?
Well, I actually conceded on it because it was causing a fight between both parties, so I let it go to match the.
No,
state
what you
legislation.
brought up here about matching the language.
You were saying something about the language didn't match.
This is the.
Oh, talking about the way the 7, it should say 13, shouldn't it, Flo?
So there are 13 members altogether.
That's correct.
As you said, 6 are at large
Uh-huh,
and 7 are dedicated to a local historic district.
right.
However many districts there may be in the future, there are 7 dedicated to a local historic district. And on all of those appointments, non-binding recommendations are made to the mayor, and then the mayor sends a name to the council for appointment.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, but I didn't read it. I just listened to the way he read it. There are,
It says 13.
it says 13?
It says commission
All right.
chair consists of 13 members.
Okay, I'm fine with that then.
And then there were some changes to the architectural review board structure. Is that correct? No changes to that?
It operates the same way it is now.
There are changes in the appointment process in that, again, non-binding recommendations to the mayor, and the mayor submits a name to the council.
Yeah, but we didn't
Okay.
change the language that was part of the original ordinance to the ARB.
For ARB, we did change to say that there are non-binding recommendations made to the mayor, and then the mayor to the council, because if you, under the current ordinance, those 3 organizations, it's very similar, but under the current ordinance, those 3 organizations send their recommendations to the council members, and then the council members appoint.
I guess what I'm saying, Flo, is that from the original change ordinance that was submitted last time, we didn't change any language. We left it alone.
Yes, correct.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
that's
saying
been
to
the
you.
same- I'm sorry, yes, that's been the same since the original submittal to the council.
And also the change from existing was the terms, 3-year overlapping terms.
That's correct.
And then what's unique about this one also is that when a term is expired, their membership of the ARB is expired. You don't just continue to carry forward. So it forces the mayor to appoint and city council to put somebody on there. Mr. Carroll, you've sort of led this charge in a lot of ways. Do you have anything else that you think we ought to bring to the public's attention on this one? Other than the fact that this is a very much needed change that is going to be more productive for the
No, the
city.
only thing we need to do is discuss it with them on Thursday night. You plan to be there?
Yes.
She does now.
I think we're going to be missing Bruce. I think we're going to be missing Jamie Thursday night, and Christine, you, and Bruce, and then
Bruce said he'll be there, he said.
No, that was today.
Oh, that was, sorry,
I
never
think
mind.
Bruce plans to attend.
right. We're just missing Jamie on Thursday night, which is a strong neighborhood representation who put a lot of work into this. So I think we kind of all need to be there to kind of discuss it. You know, there's going to be a few people that feel like I do. Not everybody got what they want. You know what I mean? Both sides had to compromise a lot to get to this point. So this is the closest we've ever been to even ground that I can ever remember, going all the way back to, God, before I was even on the council, somewhere around 2000, 2002. So I don't think we've ever been this close to some type of agreement between both parties. So be able to get it together.
This is your meeting at All Saints.
Yes, sir. You're welcome to come.
I'll be out of town.
Well,
Unfortunately, unable to attend.
If-
Does-
My meetings are open to everyone. It's community
I'll plan to
meetings.
be.
Does the
Please show up.
administration have anything they want to add, or any other board member? Okay, anything else from anybody else? Look forward to seeing this one on the agenda.
All right.
The Rules Committee is adjourned.
Short and sweet.
God, that much sugar. I had 2 pieces of bread.